Hi, this is Kagan on Tsargoth's Railcraft server. I'm finishing up today on the combined Minecraft and Railcraft project that I've been working on, the roundhouse, to get us everywhere. And as I was showing you before, I'm still missing 2 more pieces of track that have to be made. And I wanted to show you what they are and finish getting everything around. The first one is called a disembarking track. Now, a disembarking track is basically a cart unloader for people. And it's done with a pressure plate, advanced rails, another wooden rail bed, and a piece of redstone. And the other track that I need to do is something called a detector track. Very similar. It's a pressure plate, a wooden rail bed, redstone, only standard rail. So let me go ahead and make these up. I've gone ahead and saved you the time of having to watch me make rail beds. They're kind of a bit of a pain, but they are what this thing needs for making railways of all sorts. So I need a couple pressure plates. Now, these two are kind of confusing because they have the same formula of things. It's just in different spots. So the disembarking has the pressure plate on top, the rail bed in the middle, and the redstone at the bottom. And then we have rail. And we have disembarking track. Then we need the detector is just backwards. Rail bed on top, then the pressure plate, then the redstone, and standard. Now the difference between these is what they do. A detector track seems rather innocuous. It only sends a redstone pulse out whenever there's a cart with something in it. That's all it does. Or actually, it doesn't even send it when something's in it. It just says, I have a cart on top of me. So, that in and of itself doesn't seem like it means much, except for when you get into, well, like this sort of project. I've gone ahead and removed the other track that I told you was just a place marker, because I'm putting the disembarker there. And then I'm going to put the detector track here. And of course they automatically line up to the rest of the Railcraft around them. Now what's going to happen is when a player comes from the roundhouse to this station, they're going to land on this boarding track. Yes, there's a player, so the boarding track pushes them along. They're going to ride over here to the disembarker. Disembarker is going to effectively kick them out of the cart and let the cart keep running. The cart is going to run into this detector track. The detector track is going to send out a pulse. I have a cart on me. Now, the reason that's important is because of how cart dispensers work. When a cart dispenser is full or has any sort of minecarts in them, like this one does, a redstone signal is going to output a cart. When a cart dispenser is empty, on the other hand, for instance this one, when it gets a redstone signal, it's going to suck the cart up. So it's going to automatically pull it away, and then because we've got the item loaders, it's going to store them back into the ender chest. Now that's it for this station, and we'll get into a test in a little bit. But before we do, I need to go over to the roundhouse and set up the rest of that. So we're going to need some more boarding tracks. We're going to need the cart dispensers, another piece of andesite, a button. I did make myself an extra crowbar because you never know when you're going to need one in this, and I figured I might forget from time to time. Yeah, I made myself some extra switch tracks. Those are going to be necessary, like I said, at the stations, because at the roundhouse we're going to have these two tracks separated. And let me show you how we're going to set those up. Just come through the portal. Okay, first off, we need our cart dispenser. And we need our detector. Fortunately, that runs on its own. We need some regular track. And then we need the disembarker. And then we need this out because just like before, I need the player detector here to run the boarding track. So that is one of these with the dot up. Another piece of track just for spacing, and then we need the border, and you see the boarding track is facing the wrong direction. Handy crowbar, right click, and it goes in the right direction. So here's our receiving area on the roundhouse. You're going to come in, get disembarked, gonna pick up the track. I'll make more item detectors and hook it into the enter chest here as well, so that the carts will get picked up. Again, the item detector is providing the redstone signal to do that. We don't have to worry about it. Now down here is where the outbound of the roundhouse is. I've currently got 8 slots open, and I'm going to be making more. I just haven't built more into the building yet. But over here is our portal back to headquarters. So this one we need far less than what we did. Just need a track or two. And I'm gonna put my boarding track here. Actually, no, I need to put the boarding track there. There's a reason for it, because this is only an 8 wide area, and I want to leave a little bit of a path down the middle so that it doesn't, just cram everything, so you have to walk on top of rails, etc. So we want to move this in one. And yeah, I've already made the ender chest over here. That's going to get embedded in the wall, believe it or not, and then I'm going to run a system of transport from it to all the different cart dispensers that are going to be over here. But for the time being, it's just close by, because right now I just need it manually and I don't have the item detectors made. So, and one boarding track. Boarding track is backwards, so we'll go there. Now, since this is an outbound, we need our button and a piece of stone. This can be anything, actually. On top of here, if you want to use lights, lamps, whatever, as long as it's Project Red equivalent and can handle a redstone signal going through it from one block to the other, that's fine. The only thing you really want to make sure of is that the redstone signal does not affect here, because if it affects the boarding track, the cart's going. If the boarding track gets that redstone signal that says, yeah, I've got something, then it's gonna go. Okay, so let's put some carts in the cart dispenser. And I believe we're all set up. So let's go back over here to headquarters and take a ride, shall we? Come back. And we push the button. We have a cart. Now, this is going to go fairly fast, I will warn you. But you go in the cart, you run, and it's just that fast. You're here, I've been disembarked, the cart has been picked up. Now you go downstairs, And yeah, I will eventually be finishing these off with actual stairs rather than steps. And say, if I had more of these set up, let's just say we want to go back to headquarters. Right-click the cart. It's waiting for us. Get in, and off we go. And it's already that fast. I hope you've enjoyed, and you can see the cart dispenser's already picked up the cart. It's out of the way, ready for the next rider to come on. Cart's already put away, so the system works. I hope you've enjoyed my little foray into Railcraft and Minecraft, or Miscraft, and I hope you'll enjoy making some stations of your own. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye.